Hi folks, welcome to my Bit Retro Journal. This is a video for December where we celebrate all things MS-DOS in December. And today I'm going to be doing a video on SlipKnot, which is an early browser that sort of competed with Netscape and Mosaic back in the day, and it was designed for folks who didn't have TCP/IP or an internet protocol, an IP connection that only had modems, and that was true for many of us in the early 90s. The web was live in end of 93 and 94, and most of us still just had modems where we connected to things like CompuServe and AOL, and we didn't actually have the machines that could connect, so we would have internet connections. And so SlipKnot came out that used a Hayes compatible modem and the AT command set to basically dial into a host server and then use a text browser called Lynx to browse the web and have Lynx bring forth HTML files locally so he could display it. I wrote my own version, and I had a video last month. You can see it right here. And if you want to get just a really short 5-minute non-verbal one just to see what it looks like and how it works, this one will do that for you. So so I have my Simulant modem connected again with a USB to serial, because even though this is a 2002 Dell laptop, I really wanted to use my IBM ThinkPad. But unfortunately, it's currently in pieces because I'm kind of fixing the plastic. And so instead of a 95-96 machine, I'm using a 2002-2003 machine. So about 7 years later, it's running XP, but SlipKnot will work in there. So one of the things that comes built in with these machines is a program called Hyperterminal. So it's under Accessories, Communication, Hyperterminal. And I'm going to open up a retro Wi-Fi, and I think I've been playing with this already a little bit, so this might be at 9600 baud. Let's see what I have this at. I don't think it's at it's at 9600. So what you got to do is stop this, properties, configure, change this to 9600, and there we go. AT plus config, and so it's at 9000. It's connected to my iPhone. Again, the default for this is 2400, but I've been playing around with this a little bit. Okay, but I'm not going to use this program, so let's just get out of it. Instead, I'm going to start SlipKnot. I already have Hyperterminal. SlipKnot's right here. I've been playing around with this a bit too. Let me just open all these up. So this is what comes with it. You've got SlipKnot upgrade, and then I don't know what LView is, but this is the program that I've been using. So let's start that up. It's unregistered, of course. Ask you to donate money to it. Under setup, you have communications, and you basically can communicate, so it's on COM3, either as modem or direct serial connection. I chose that because as modem, it would do a dial tone or a pulse, and I didn't want to do that, so I'm going directly with a serial. And then what you then do is you create a host file, and it has a sample one, and you can copy it. So I copied this for SDF, 9600 baud, UNIX shell, it's just a comment. The programs that are in SDF, it doesn't have the Y, X, or Z modem, but it does have Kermit. It has what's called eKermit, which is the embedded Kermit, and it gives you sample commands. I had to sort of trim them down a bit. The sample commands it gives you, I think, are -I-S, and I means it's going to be in binary, but I didn't need binary, and then -I-R. So I got rid of the dash I, and it just said Kermit instead of eKermit. It has Lynx, and it actually verified it as version 2.89. It looks for a command prompt, and I'm using, it supports Bash, C shell, TC shell, shell, and corn shell, I guess, K shell, and I think that's the default in SDF. Manual login, so instead of doing a script, which you can script this if you want, so as a built-in scripting language, to log in, I chose to do the, and same for logout, I chose to do the manual login, where just like on my Mimir browser, it gives you a terminal program and you can log in. So let's do that. So I'm going to connect to host, and here, just get AT, so I'm going to connect to freeshell.org, and just type in my credentials. Yeah, I had to do it twice because I had a typo. So then we're here, and you can see that Mimir dump and edhub are the things that my browser uses, and then this is the whole stuff that SlipKnot uses. Not quite sure what all is in here, but I'm not going to go through that ad nauseum. I mean, it looks like proc. These are just process IDs, so I don't know what it's doing with. It definitely is doing some advanced proc 2. I think it's just another process. So it's using the server. Wow. What does status tell you? Gives you the URL, the last thing that I looked at, and then I guess if it was successful or not. And then I think the SNT temp is the sent temp. What's a SlipKnot? Yeah. Lynx version. Oh, that's what it. I guess a command that it sends. In any case, now that we have the command prompts, all we have to do is we have to go. Oh yeah. So the first time you do this, the other thing it does is it basically does the initialization of host where it verifies it. So the first time you do the connect, after you set it up, it actually forces this, and this is where it runs this. So it actually sends a prompt, gets the version, checks. I think a send and receive is what it does with these scripts. So it's retrieving a script. So I think it's sending and then sending it back and making sure that it all works. And I think there's 2 scripts that it does. Yeah, so the second script. And if it passes all this, then we're good to go, and it will pass all this. So at least we have a solid connection to the host, and we know that 30 years later, and it still kind of works. So it's pretty cool that, yeah, host initialization is correct. So now we basically go here and we say, hey, let's go to the World Wide Web. And it says I have one document, and that document, it gives you a tip of the day. That document is just the basic homepage for SlipKnot. So you basically click on here, and the first one I tried was www.frogfind. So that's Action Retro's page, retrieved from the internet. And I've played around this a little bit. Now, a few times, it's just giving me the page, and you can see that it's a... I misspelled it. Fork find, so frog find. But if you saw my video in Mimir, you can see that my browser is actually much faster than SlipKnot. And it's faster because I do it immediately. I don't run a bunch of tasks and worry about processes, etc. I just grab the information as fast as possible. And so this is a little slower. But here we have it. Now, the one nice thing is, though, you do get more information. You get forms, although I did try this, and it was kind of sad. Amiga Ribbit, and it says the form is trying to to send information back to the internet scheme. The scheme is not supported by SlipKnot. So, and at one point this updated with the picture. So it does do pictures, and you can actually, under preferences, you can say that get pictures. So it does retrieve pictures. I got rid of the caching, hoping that it would get the picture, but I haven't been able to have it repeat. So I don't know what's going on. Why frog find? It just didn't appear right away, but after like a few minutes, it just appeared. And I thought maybe it was running, but there's no retrieval jobs in the queue. So I don't know if this is going to update the picture or not. A lot of these links, if you click on this, it's not going to work because it's, first of all, it can't do HTTPS. But even if you get rid of that and just say the non-secure version. And again, my browser can, because I let Lynx do all the work, and you'll see that this is going to crash. It's going to be like, can't do it, yeah. So what can it do? Well, it can, let's see what we got here. I think you can do this one, about PHP, retrieve from the internet. It can do simple pages, yeah. So it's a bit more hamstrung. Again, what it's trying to do is it's trying to. Oh, it couldn't do that either. Oh, I thought there was one thing you could do. Maybe not. If I try micro, was it Micromind? I think that. The company that makes SlipKnot. Yep. So that's his webpage. And you'll see it's going to look a little different. I do like that he keeps multiple windows open so you don't close them. So unlike tabs, again, just created multiple windows within this environment here. And this is going to, I mean, you know, it gets big pages rather quickly. And of course it has to render the entire stuff. I only do 4K at a time, and mine's still a prototype. But again, if you haven't seen my video, you don't really know what I'm talking about. But here this is the home page of the creator, and it's actually a table in the if you use a modern browser. So, and that's the problem with parsing it locally, is you're relying on it's 30 years old, it hasn't been updated, and so you're kind of relying on that as opposed to you know, what I do with my browsers, I just take the dump file and parse that, and that's been sort of set. Now, of course, I don't get pictures. Well, so I will eventually get pictures. And again, I'm just a little unhappy that it's not, I don't know how to get the picture. But you can see also it has a different background here. So he's able to do that. But yeah, if you try, other web pages just don't work. I mean, I've been kind of trying to click around. Like Dilwyn Jones. Again, I'm a QLer, so that's what I wrote my version of this on, and as a prototype. But yeah, so and I think if you do help, it oh no, it just gives you help of why it can't. It doesn't give you feedback of why, but you know, obviously it's not going to be able to do, for instance, CNN.com. That's also not going to work. But I was trying to find ways to, yeah. But frustratingly, I just don't know where why it's not getting the image, because it's supposed to get images. So I've been trying to figure out, I also tried, so this was weird. I thought this usually is the most successful page to get, right? Google.com. And you'll see that it's going to retrieve something really crazy. It's very small, but in fact, I don't even know what we're going to get for 219 bytes. And also kind of frustrating that so I've gotten this before too, that it's moved. If you click here, then you finally get the actual page. So again, it has some weird behaviors. I forget if I actually used this back in the day, but so you can close this now, because I think this is going to open up the Google page, but you'll see that surprisingly, it's just going to be kind of a mess itself. So yeah, unfortunately, this is, yeah, so not quite sure what's going on here, but it, yeah, it just created, I would love to show some pictures. And again, the best bet was this one, but I just haven't been able to get it to, I'm retrieving it again. I haven't been able to get it to work. It worked the first time. I got a picture when I was playing around with it. But it hasn't since, and I don't even know what these are. Oh, I see. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, okay. So it creates kind of like tabs here. Yeah, so here's Frog Find again, but there's no picture with it. I was hoping, but it basically loaded the little, I don't recall clicking on this or anything. Yeah, there was, I mean, I'm just clicking to see if I can get it to go. But the fact that you can't do a search, the thing that I'm thinking about doing on my browser as far as search goes is just having a built-in Google search where you can just type it in, because you can send the string over and it'll do the search that way. So that way you can just type into the basically the way modern browsers do. If you type something into the bar and it's not a URL, it's a search term that it does search on. But yeah, so this is SlipKnot. Got it to work. So I think the cool thing on this is that, is there anything here? I'm still trying to desperately figure out a way to get, does this actually, oh yeah, it gives you a list of, that's cool. I'm trying to get it to display a picture, because I just, that's, you know, that would make this demo of SlipKnot complete, but just haven't been able to do it. What's the viewer? Here from the future. So I still haven't been able to get this to work. And I also, under preferences, I set it to order of display, wait for pictures, and it still is not doing it. Now, the home page itself, if you click on text, graphics, and sound, you actually get to this page. So it shows you how pictures would look. So you can see that this has embedded pictures and they work just fine. And again, I one time I had the frog for Frog Find show up, but I haven't been able to get it to show up again. And then I saw this. If you go under all links and you say, and you go retrieve selected, it actually says this feature is available only to registered SlipKnot users. And in one of these instances, I actually had not just the PHP, but I also had, I'll show you which one. I can just, this one is a bit more clear. If I load this one, it's about, 2,700 bytes, so it's not very long. But if you, and again, this has two pictures in there, and it's not going to load those pictures. And by the way, my browser would already show this at this point. But again, you wouldn't get the different fonts, right? So you can see that it has a picture right there. It's not showing, and it's got a picture at the very bottom that it's not showing. But if I go get all links, here it has the two pictures. And if I say all, retrieve, it says this feature is not available. This feature is only available for registered SlipKnot users. So maybe the reason we're not getting pictures is because you need to be a registered user, which of course is impossible now. And perhaps because this is buggy and it crashes a lot, perhaps there was just a bug where it showed a picture when it wasn't supposed to. That's the only thing I can think of, because I only got that picture once and I can't get it again, and it doesn't make sense otherwise. So yeah, that's the SlipKnot browser. It came out in 95 and it lasted to about 97. So it had about a 3-year lifespan. And it was sort of a bridge for most folks that had, it was Windows 95, obviously, that had that didn't have TCP/IP or SeerLink IP or PPP on their computers, or had a way to access it, but they had access to a server. For me, for instance, I used it. I had access to a server at school, And until they transitioned to giving you IP, which took a while, that was a way to browse the internet. All right. So I hope you enjoyed kind of perusing SlipKnot a bit. I think it's a cool historical artifact, and I'm trying to recreate this browser for retro computers. That's why if you watch my videos on Mimir, that's a prototype I built on the Sinclair QL. I'm hoping to create one on the Amiga and the Macintosh, are probably two platforms I'll look at in the future to proliferate it, and I would love to have help for that. But I don't think I'm going to make it as complicated as this, and my browser can actually go and see, if I want to go CNN.com, which is what I demoed, mine will actually show it. Again, the thing that makes this better is it has different font sizes, so it's reading the HTML stuff as well. Mine is just text. All right, I'm going to end here. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.